Here comes the hook. Down in 20 strikeouts. He ties the major league record.
I'll never forget it, PB. I was there in May of 1998. The 25-year anniversary is coming up. It was a rainy, cool day at Wrigley Field. There was a bunch of guys with K signs wearing old NBA jerseys in the left field bleachers. Analytically, it goes down in history as one of the most dominant pitching performances in the history of Major League Baseball. It was a one-hitter. If not for Kevin Ory, it could have been a no-hitter. The only hit that day goes to Ricky Gutierrez, who then becomes a Cub later in his career against the Houston Astros. And joining us right now on the CarX Tire and Auto Hotline is the one-time Kid K. I guess one-time Kid K, always Kid K. He is Kerry Wood, joining us 25 years later. Kerry, how you feeling today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We are doing well. I'm sure you're going to get some calls as this will be coming up here with the 25-year anniversary. We got the jump on it. This checks in at number 19 on our greatest moments in the last 25 years. I'm sure out of all the honors you've received in your Cubs career, this one has got to be number one in your heart.
I mean, it definitely tops the list. Cracking the top 20 is monumental. Sure.
Is there anything we don't know about that day? I mean, we've dissected it over the years, and you've talked about it at length, but is there any part of that day or that game that doesn't get the attention that maybe it should?
No, I mean, I really think I've talked about it at nauseum, and I think we've covered every nuance of the game, from the first pitch off the umpire's mask to not throwing any strikes in the bullpen, warming up, and really having no expectations of the day. Like I left the bullpen thinking, I could be out. I may not get through the first inning. So outside of that stuff, I think we've covered it all.
Wait, so what was that? That was like was it your fifth major league start?
Yep, fifth start, and obviously still trying to get adjusted, and obviously getting my feet wet, and just trying to feel like I fit in the clubhouse. And you're a 20-year-old kid playing with guys that you watch growing up on TV, and just trying to fit in.
So do you ever watch that? Did you used to watch it, and do your kids watch that?
We watch it every morning before the kids go to school. We still do that.
Get some cereal, some juice, and let's sit down and watch the game, kids.
Yeah. Guys, sit down. Here we go. No, I don't watch it. I usually see highlights around this time of year, around May, when May starts to roll around. There's a little more chatter about it. Hard to believe it's been 25 years. Sometimes it feels like it's been 35 years, and sometimes it feels like it was 10 years ago. So. The 25-year mark snuck up on me, but I don't watch it much. No.
Well, Kerry, best to your wife Sarah and the kids. Did we hear you've been coaching some baseball?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting out here in the parking lot. We're getting ready to have practice in about 15 minutes. So yeah, coaching a little high school baseball, helping out with the pitchers here at New Trier, and really enjoying that. It's my third year doing that. So we've got a good group of guys, and so I enjoy spending the time with the kids.
Is it true that the kids really don't reminisce much with you about your playing career, that it's more about the dads?
Yeah, no, the kids don't really. I'm just another guy that's telling them what to do. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal to the guys. Most of them listen to what I say. My son is on the team, so he's like the sole guy that doesn't really listen to what I'm telling him to do. But the rest of the guys are pretty, receptive of what I have to offer.
Well, truth be told, his son Justin is a hell of a baseball player and about the same age as my son. So several years ago, when they're playing Little League starting out, Kerry on his team, he had Pat Fitzgerald's son. He had, of course, his son Justin. And what you were so mellow and low keyed as a coach. Like, it was great because we see these parents that gets so amped up, but you were like coaching first base. You'd walk across and give a comment or a pat on the back to the opposing pitcher. And again, they didn't really know who you were, but like every dad and mom in the stands were absolutely going crazy. My question to you is, with the change in the pitch clock in Major League Baseball, are you altering kind of how you are coaching at the high school level a little bit to get everybody on board with where baseball's going?
Not really. I've kind of always been a guy to talk about when I pitch. I never really 16 seconds for me was about the longest. Like, I wanted to wait before I threw the next pitch. And there's a guys, listen, Burley, John Lieber, there's tons of guys that were like, give me the ball and be back on the rubber. Some of them would be walking backwards to stand on the rubber as they were receiving the ball back from the catcher. So I think there's a rhythm that pitchers want to stay in. So for me, the pitch clock is not a big deal. 20 seconds is more than enough time on 95% of all the pitches you're going to throw. It's more than enough time to get up and get ready and throw your next pitch. So, like, I really don't like our guys walking around. I really don't like, obviously there's some plays and stuff in high school. You've got signs and stuff you got to get in between. But I haven't really talked about it yet. But I think most guys should be on the mound and throw the pitch and get back on the rubber and be ready to go. I think it keeps these guys in a rhythm. I think the quicker they work and the more efficient they are, I think that 20-second time clock really shouldn't come into effect.
Kerry Wood for another minute as we talk about the 20 strikeout game. You saw Edwin Diaz get hurt yesterday. This is coming up again, Kerry, regarding whether or not these guys should play for their countries. They're so into it. But this was a celebration injury. Like, he was dominant, and they're so into playing for their country. Trout said after the game he wouldn't trade it for anything. Do you believe the WBC is bad, or was this just a freak injury that could have happened at any time at any place?
Listen, hey, I love it. I wish I had taken the opportunity to play while I was still playing, to go out and try to play for my country. I love it. I love watching the games. Whether I know anybody on the teams or not, I love watching these games. I love the passion about it. It is a freak thing, but we've seen freak things happen at the big league level in playoff games, in celebrations. We've seen this in the past. It definitely is a freak thing. I just think guys got to remember, like, when you're celebrating, just be careful. I mean, as much as, as easy as that is to say, when you have emotion going, but it's a freak thing. And I don't think, this tournament has anything to do with it. I think it's great for baseball. I think it's great for the country, for all the countries that are involved. I think it is nothing but good.
I'm giving you one ticket to watch any player in Major League Baseball play today. Who is it?
Oh, man. You're going to put me on the spot. I don't watch a ton of baseball until this WBC started. I started watching a lot more baseball. I haven't been watching a ton of baseball. I mean, I'm a Verlander fan. I love the fact that he's still going and still looks great and is strong. And it's a guy that was in my era, that was dominant in my era, and he's still doing it. So, give me a pitcher like him. I still like watching those guys. I like watching Scherzer. Those are about the only guys that if the game's on and they're pitching, I'll stop and watch it for the most part. I just don't watch a ton of baseball right now.
I feel like you could have been Shohei before Shohei if you would have committed to the outfield a little bit.
If they promise to throw me all fastballs.
Kerry, thank you for spending some time reminiscing a little bit. I know it seems like you're talked out a little bit on the 20 strikeout performance, but look, we were both there 25 years ago. It's cool for me to talk to you. Like, I was a young reporter at the time at like 25 years old. You were 20. And 25 years later, we're still reminiscing and talking about it. It's a cool thing to do, and we appreciate your time.
I appreciate it, guys. And thanks for number 19. And it's crazy. 25 years later, we're still talking about a game. And it was a special time in my career, a special time for me in the city of Chicago. The fans have been awesome for me from that day forward. And it's just it's crazy that we're still talking about that. So I appreciate you guys having me on. And thanks for number 19.
There you go.
All the best, Kerry. Thanks.
There's Kerry
Wood.
Wood.